Trying to piece together the world of Mario sometimes feels like an impossible task. As fans, we would love some sort of coherent explanation to everything that's going on, even if that's just wishful thinking. The Mario timeline is even more convoluted and impossible than trying to figure out the Zelda one. So it of course is no surprise when we see something interesting in a Mario level that we want to know more about it. Sure, it might be something a game designer whipped up, but in terms of the Mario world, I'd love to know what kind of backstory that implies. And so when we find ourselves in Out of Bounds Shipwreck, I of course want to know more to the story. So today we're heading to Super Mario 3D World's Shipwreck that is out of bounds, and we're going to be covering a lot of weird stuff along the way, including some dangerous swimming Goombas. So if you love exploring your favorite games and even breaking them, subscribe right now because you'll get new videos every week. It's free and it helps me out as a creator a ton. With that said, grab your scuba gear because we're going diving. Oh Luigi, the sheer power of being a cat. Being able to clean yourself at any moment and somehow smell amazing when you're done. Or at least that's how my cats work. Sadly though, we are not cats. But as men, we do have the choice to smell amazing and feel powerful. And it's not going to come from your 3-in-1 shampoo, Chad. No, burn that. Today we're taking our hygiene back with Dr. Squatch, the sponsor of today's video. Dr. Squatch's soap smells so good that I honestly want to stick a wick in it and use it as a candle. My personal favorites are Deep Sea Goat's Milk and the Heavy Grit Pine Tar. You know, for when you're beyond filthy. Dr. Squatch is all about transparency when it comes to making their natural soap. With simple ingredients you can understand, unlike other soaps with chemical names so long you'd fail the spelling bee trying to attempt them. And that's honestly what makes it great. It's simple, sustainable, and it smells amazing. It's been a game changer for me. And I was super excited when they reached out because I always love their videos on YouTube. So if you want to smell like a champion and level up your showering game, click my link in the description below and grab yourself some soap. New Dr. Squatch customers can get 20% off on orders of $20 or more when they use my special code DSC SwankyBox. And of course, a huge thanks to Dr. Squatch for sponsoring this video and supporting my channel and my showering needs. Today we're going to be breaking World 3.5, Pipeline Lagoon. When going through this level the first time in Super Mario 3D World, I absolutely loved it. You start off on a beach with some deadly Goombas, then you make your way down into a side-scrolling section that has various water levels. The music and overall theme of the level is incredible, and it was one of my favorite stages in World 3. About halfway through the level though, we come across a clear pipe that transitions us to the next part of the world. And during that moment, we can see what's truly beneath the water in Pipeline Lagoon, a ship graveyard. Of course, despite how absolutely beautiful this hunk of lumber is, we whiz on by, and we never get to explore it. But the thing is, this area is basically just a room full of water, and the openings are sealed with a clear pipe. So let's get in. So I took the pipe from the start of the level and moved its exit warp to the top of the shipwreck room. And voila, Luigi is spit out into an underground tomb full of death and destruction. Nice! So we can swim around this entire area without much stopping us. Keep in mind, we are in what is basically a box of water. When game developers want an area to be swimmable, they essentially create a giant cube or rectangle and then denote this region as a water area. This whole room is full of it, so we can swim around the shipwrecks as we please. It's kinda weird being back here, and honestly when I saw this many years ago on my first playthrough, I thought it looked really cool. And you know what? Up close it looks even cooler. The developers put in a lot of detail into these ships and they have some pretty crazy depth. They don't have any collisions so we can swim through them, which makes sense, as we aren't supposed to be back here. But what's weird is that these ships are even modeled on the inside to some degree. There is some incredible detail in these for only being seen as a passing by area. In total, there are 2 ships with various damage to them, and down below it is hinted at there being 3 more, because of the ship masts shoot up from the bottom. The models for those ships don't exist though, and the 2 ship models we do have also clip out of bounds. It makes me wonder what happened here from a lore perspective. Again, I definitely love overthinking stuff, but by the looks of it, it almost looks like these ships collided with one another and ultimately sank. Trying to logically think about how they all got cramped up here could be one of 2 things. They either all smashed into each other in a storm and sunk on the spot, or somehow the strong currents near the beach sucked them into this underwater cave area. Perhaps it was a battle too. We know there is sun above us because of the sun rays, but it makes you wonder whose ships they were and what happened. I do love this room in particular because the game developers actually apply a thin filter over the entire area. If your character and camera is in front of the filter, like in the clear pipe area, then the background looks a lot darker and contrasty. But if you are beyond this filter, you can see the shipwrecks in normal underwater lighting, all from a flat panel that changes the way they look based on your location. Now, since we're in a room swimming with off-axis assets, it only makes sense that we want to swim onward. If we reach the edges of the water box, we fall to our death. But you can fall back into the water box if you react quick enough, and pull back. Luigi's toying with death here, but he's a brave lad. Right, Luigi? Knowing that water regions are utilized as rectangles throughout the level, it is no surprise that these water areas extend past the boundaries of the stage. Knowing this, we can actually swim through the clear pipe area. If we head out before the clear pipe, we can actually swim around the boundaries of the level, putting Luigi in front of the side-scrolling swimming sections. All the water levels here are set to be the lowest point when it comes to the rising and falling water levels. We can essentially swim wherever we want, but ultimately, we need to go in the pipe to proceed forward. This is because the pipes in this level warp us super far away. For reference, the secret gold room in this level is actually stored out in the middle of the ocean, between this final pipe and the flagpole area. But look at how big that distance is! Good grief, Luigi isn't Michael Phelps. Oh hey, there's another sunken ship later on the level too. How many people actually died on this sunny beach? To help clear up the somber mood, let's try messing with the level some more. Viewing the shipwreck underwater is cool, but how does this cluster of debris look in the sun? So I decided to move all the ships to the start of the level. Now they glistened in the sun, and within their glory, we now had the ultimate area to throw the biggest pool party in existence. And honestly, it was absolutely incredible. Generally, I like to cover everything interesting a level has to offer, so let's talk about the Goombas in the spiked inner tubes. This type of enemy only appears on top of water, and when you get near them, they wake up and attempt to chase you. But what happens when they aren't in any water? So for an initial experiment, I added some Goombas to the pool and placed 2 out of the water. I also made one of these Goombas a big boy and scaled him up quite a bit. So surprisingly, as soon as these Goombas spawn that are not within the water, they instantly explode. The only thing you can hear is them blowing up into a puff of smoke before the game even lets us see the level. So unless these Goombas are touching water when they load in, they die on frame 1 before they even get to live. And this is when I decided that I was going to fill this pool to its brim. So if Goombas in inner tubes die if they aren't touching water, and they cannot normally leave water at all, what if we force them to leave the water? So the idea was this: clone a bunch of Goombas and put them on the same spot. Collision on Goombas works by preventing other Goombas from entering their space. However, if they are inside of each other, that means the collision doesn't start pushing until the other Goombas are out. So it's kind of like adding a single drop of dye to water. It slowly expands over time as it drifts. If a Goomba moves out of their initial spot, they can never go back inside of another Goomba. This means that the pool will naturally fill to its brim with Goombas once each individual Goomba claims their spot. And the result? Well, it's this monstrosity. There isn't even a single spot of water left. Speaking of water, the shiny section we see on the surface of the water is an object too. We can literally grab the surface of the water and move it. What you're left with is a pool of water that is still water despite there being no reflection. And on the flip side, you have the surface of the water that isn't actually water, but I digress. So I continually ran around the pool, pulling Goombas to the side to fill the pool up completely. But unfortunately, my experiments did not yield the results I wanted. I was thinking that too many Goombas would be in the pool, and it would force others out of the pool, instantly defeating them. But what we got was the pool maxing out with Goombas, and yet there were tons of Goombas still inside of each other at the initial spawn points. A bummer, but it is what it is. What's incredible though is that the pool is just deep enough that small Luigi can swim under the Goombas. So if we ground pound through this layer of Goom, Luigi can swim freely in a pool he can never escape from. Either the clock kills Luigi, or the surface of the water does. Did I mention this beach is full of death? If you liked exploring ship ruins with me, or enjoyed my Goomba pool party, subscribe right now, and I'll see all of you in my next video. Cheers!